What's going on, you guys? It's Cody Steck. Today I've got a very special video for you. I'm going to be talking about something that I'm super passionate about, and I hope that you can get passionate about it as well. What I want to talk about here in this video is how to make well into the six-figure mark as a real estate agent. And this is not something that's easy to do. This takes years and years of hard work. It takes a lot of uncomfortable situations, and it takes a lot of pain and discomfort. It involves a lot of ups and downs along the way, a lot of big wins, and a lot of big losses as well. This is something that I've personally been working on for about the last 6 years, and I've just gotten to the point where I really feel comfortable in knowing that my business is going to be sustainable and it's going to have a very bright and positive outlook here on the future. The cool thing about real estate is that once you've got a business that's up and running, you've created a network that is deep enough that you should have consistent business year after year after year, as long as you keep showing up and keep doing the work. In the very beginning, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of, putting in the work without getting any results. As you continue to grow, it's kind of like building passive income, right? As you put more and more time into it, you're building that network to where eventually down the road, you'll get deals where you just literally pick up your phone, say, hey, this is Cody, and people will call you and say, hey, I need to sell my home. And that's that, right? It gets a little bit easier each and every year that you go on. So like I just said, I've been working at this for almost 6 years now, and it's been a long time coming. As you can see here, I've closed over $250,000 in gross commissions, and I'll probably close out the year of 2020 close to $300,000. And while that does sound like a lot of money, you also don't see the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes. You don't see the weekends worked. You don't see the lost time on clients who never buy or sell their home. You don't see all of the nights that I had to spend away from my family in order to make this happen. And most of all, you don't see those first couple of years where I put in a lot of time and didn't get paid hardly jack. So my purpose here in this video is to help you get to this six-figure mark, hopefully well above that a little bit sooner than I did, using some of the knowledge that I'm going to share with you here in this video. I'm going to share a number of tips here in this video that hopefully will help you get there a little bit faster than it did for me, using some of the knowledge that I'm going to share with you here. I think I've got 6 years worth of knowledge here that can help you speed up this process and hopefully get there in just maybe 2, 3, even 4 years. That's going to be a lot faster, and it's going to help you build that long-term wealth even quicker, which I'm all about here on this channel. So with that being said, guys, let's not waste any more time. If you wouldn't mind, I put a ton of time and effort into filming this video. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up here. I really appreciate that. That helps me out with the YouTube algorithm massively. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to learn more about money, real estate, and entrepreneurship. That's what we talk about here on this channel. And with that said, let's jump right into things. So I'm going to give you 7 tips on how to make it to 6 figures as quickly as possible. These are things that I wish I would have known getting into the business right from the get-go. Tip number 1, this is going to be very difficult. If you're already working in sales, you know how difficult sales can be. If you're coming from a normal job or you're just barely getting into real estate, you might underestimate how difficult sales is actually going to be. There's a lot of times where you get into the business, you start talking to people, and you think something's going to come of it, and unfortunately, nothing ever happens. So going into this with the right mindset is absolutely number 1 on my list here. You have to have the right mindset when it goes to getting into real estate, because if you don't, you're going to get beat down, and there's a good chance you're going to fall out of the business right away. There's a reason why 90% of agents fail out of the business within the first 3 years. So I did a little bit of research on my own market, and I actually found out that there's 16,745 real estate agents licensed just in my market alone. If 90% of them statistically fail out of the business in the next 3 years, that means that almost 15,000 of them are actually going to be out of the business entirely. And if we keep at that number, another 15,000 have come in to give this job a shot. Unfortunately, this is a really hard business, and a big reason why so many people fell out of it is because they aren't able to generate sales to then produce an income from real estate, right? A lot of times with real estate being a 30-day contract to close process, it might be 30, 40, 50 days before you get paid by the time you actually get a deal. So then add on top of that the time it takes to go and find that deal. It could be 2, 3, 4 months before you're getting paid. Oftentimes I've got clients where I start working with them and they don't actually close and produce a paycheck for myself until 6 months into the relationship. Also, looking statistically at this business, there's a lot of agents who don't do any business at all. In fact, I would say that probably 80%, maybe 85 or even 90% of the business is done by the top 10% of real estate agents overall. A lot of those agents in the bottom 90% are only doing a couple of deals per year, which is hardly enough to pay the bills. And I would even go a little bit further and say that the bottom 50% of that 90% are probably only doing like 1 to 2 deals per year. I also looked at some information from our local board of realtors and found that the top 500 agents in our market are doing at least 22 transactions per year. 22 transactions per year might sound like a lot, but it is definitely doable. So if you could do at least 2 deals per month, you could be in the top 500 agents here in my local market. So without going too far off topic into these statistics, I want to talk about mindset. This is an absolutely crucial part of the business that you need to understand. It's going to be hard and it's going to take you some time to get started in this business. You need to know that you're going to have some downs, but you're going to rebound, and you just have to keep getting out there each and every single day to be able to put one foot in front of the other to go out there and find some new business. You always want to have your hand in a couple different pots so you've got new business coming in. You don't want to put all of your time into one client or into one deal. You need to go out and find that one deal and immediately start looking for new business, because as soon as that client closes, your best lead has just gone off the face of the planet. So once you lose that deal, you don't have any prospects unless you've been looking for them along the way. So this actually brings up a really good point that I wanted to mention to you guys. One thing that I heard from Ryan Serhant, who is the star of $1 Million Listing New York, he's a top real estate agent in New York City. One thing that he actually said is look at your real estate license as kind of being like graduate school, right? You get into the business and the first couple years, you might not make anything. You're really there to just learn the business. You're there to make connections and start establishing a network. If you look at it that way and kind of look at it as a learning opportunity and look at it as if it were schooling, this is going to help you in the long run, because you're going to be able to go through those first couple of years, have those down years where you don't make a lot of money at all, and then be able to power through and make a very high income later on once you've established yourself in the business. Whew. Okay, tip number 1 was a long one, but stay with me here, guys. Tip number 2 is going to be very helpful for you. You need to find a niche that you are comfortable in. You need to make sure that you actually enjoy it and make sure that you can actually stick with it for the long run. Look, there's a lot of different ways to generate leads in real estate. It could be cold calling, it could be door knocking, it could be Facebook ads, it could be talking to the people at your local golf club. It could be anything out there. As long as you're getting in front of people, you've got an opportunity to get business. But it's best to actually get one method of lead generation that you really get comfortable with and that you can really double down on and commit to. The importance of doing this is you want to have something that you enjoy so that it's easy to commit to and do every single day. I want to share a story with you guys about how I hated doing open houses. A lot of people have success with open houses and they definitely do work, but I absolutely hated doing open houses. I thought that this was going to be my opportunity to go out there and generate a lot of leads every single day, or at least every single weekend, from people coming through the home to look at it. But unfortunately, I just hated going out there. I hated putting the signs on the street. You know, cars are driving by and I'm walking the sign out to the street. I mean, I felt anxious, right? I'm like, oh man, like all these people looking at me as they're driving by. But that's what I wanted. I wanted those people to come and talk to me, but I just felt anxious doing that, right? Then I get back to the house and I'm just sitting there waiting for people to show up sometimes. Nobody shows up to the house, or it's a jam-packed house, right, on a successful one, and you've got a ton of people coming in the door and it's just kind of a madhouse. You know, for me, that was just not something that I enjoyed. I needed to do open houses because it was a great form of lead generation, but I just honestly hated it. I hated waking up on a Saturday morning knowing that I had to go and spend 4 or 5 hours setting up, doing, and taking down an open house. It was just not something I looked forward to. So you need to make sure that you find a niche that you're good at and you can actually do successfully. For some people, like I said, this is going to be cold calling. For other people, it's going to be networking. Maybe you go to all these dinners, you go to these realtor events, you go to these charity events, whatever it might be. That might be your thing. It might be open houses. Maybe you're an absolute, perfect person for doing open houses. It totally depends on what's right for you. For myself, it's been my YouTube channel. That's something that I absolutely love doing. I love making videos, and I love the process of being able to generate leads from running my channel. Tip number 3, you need to run your real estate business as an actual business. A lot of people don't do this and they think, oh great, I'm self-employed. I'm just going to go out there and just kind of do my own thing. But they fail to do the things that an actual business would do. You need to think about it in this way so that you can be successful. This includes working specific hours. This includes spending money on advertising and marketing. This also includes the process of hiring help, right? A lot of agents try to go about this by themselves, and I think that's a big mistake. Obviously, early on in the beginning, when you're just getting your feet wet, you have to do everything yourself. You have to wear all of those hats. But as you start seeing some success, put aside some of that money from each commission that you get and actually put it back into the business. Hire some help. For me, it came in the form of hiring a virtual assistant to actually help me edit the videos, right? Editing a video does not get me paid in real estate. There's only 3 things that actually get you paid when it comes to real estate. 1, finding new business. 2, getting that business to commit to you. And then 3, actually closing those deals. Those are the only things that get you paid in the real estate industry. Editing videos, that doesn't directly pay me. Launching a video doesn't directly pay me. Filming out these videos or doing these scripting, that doesn't get me directly paid in real estate. So it's something that I've hired out some help for so I can actually operate as a business and be able to focus on the one thing that I'm truly good at. With tip number 3, that leads me right into tip number 4. The next thing I want to talk about is investing in yourself. It's absolutely crucial to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself through marketing. You have to invest in yourself through coaching or mastermind groups. You need to get better at your craft. I've done so many countless different forms of coaching. In fact, I'm still enrolled in coaching and mastermind groups today because I've found so much value in them. If you go and talk to any successful person, you'll find out that they also participate, whether they know it or not, in a lot of different coaching or mastermind programs, right? They're always bouncing ideas off of other successful realtors. They're bouncing ideas off of other successful business owners, friends, whatever. That's a form of a mastermind, right? So if you need to invest in yourself by paying $1,000 or $2,000 or $100 a month or whatever it might be to get in front of people who are doing what you want to do, you need to invest that money and you need to go out there and invest in yourself so you can continue to grow. I can tell you that I've honestly probably spent close to $40,000, maybe $50,000 on just coaching and mastermind programs, and that's what's helped me get to the level where I'm at today. 1, it gives you motivation. 2, it helps you increase your skills. And 3, it gives you new ideas that you might not have heard of to either help you save time or earn more money. All right, tip number 5. As we jump into this, guys, give me a thumbs up here on the video if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the content so far, make sure to do that. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this. All right, so number 5, keep in touch with your past clients. As you start generating business and as you start closing deals, you absolutely need to keep in touch with these past clients. You need to keep in touch with these people because they are going to be your number 1 source of business for years and years to come. I can't tell you how many times I get that phone call from a past client and I think, man, I should have been calling all of my past clients, because when these guys come back to you, they already know you, they already trust you, and they already like you. And that's what it takes for them to do business with you. If they know you, like you, and trust you, they're going to come to you and say, Cody, I need help selling my house and then buying a new one. Oftentimes, these have resulted in $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 checks for me because people have already come to me out of the blue from already working with me and said, I need to sell my house and then buy a new one. That's 2 deals just right there. If you can create this long-term relationship with them, that also leads into deals from their family, from their friends, and it just builds and builds and builds from there. And the best types of clients to work with are the people that you actually enjoy being around. So if you've already got clients that you like and then they start referring you business, there's a good chance you're going to like those people as well. So that's absolutely the best way to continue to grow your business year after year and get what I like to call those free deals that just come to you without a lot of your time investment other than just keeping in touch with them. Number 6 on our list. This is something that is super near and dear to my heart, and it's something that I want to share with you guys as well. Obviously, you're watching this video here on YouTube, and that's something that I have to say to you guys is that you also need to start a YouTube channel. If you haven't seen some of my other videos about how I've used YouTube to grow my own business to well into the 6-figure mark, you need to go and check out some of those other videos where I explain this exact process. Basically, I make videos on what it's like to live in my local market. People who are moving to the area then search on YouTube, what's it like to live in this city? They find me and they contact me, and there we go. I've got business. That's the very basic, simplistic form of it, and it's been absolutely life-changing for me. I think that even if you don't use YouTube necessarily for that exact reason, I think you can still generate business from it by starting a YouTube channel. It's going to be more massive than Facebook. It's going to be more massive than Instagram, Snapchat, any of these other social channels. I think that YouTube absolutely has the best opportunity of becoming the leader, especially for those of us in the real estate space. The opportunities are only going to get bigger and bigger as more people jump online and as a lot of those kids who have grown up on YouTube then move into their adult life. I think that in 10 years, YouTube is absolutely going to run the world, because there's a lot of people on YouTube right now who are interested in games. They're interested in kids stuff, right? But in 10 years, guess what? They're going to be buying a house. So if I've got 10 years worth of videos behind me showing what it's like to buy, sell, and invest in real estate, I'm going to have a huge head start against somebody who's just getting started 5, 6, 7 years down the road. The other cool thing about this, guys, is that you don't need a big channel to make serious money. My channel has just crossed over 1,000 subscribers. In fact, right now I'm sitting at about 1,400 subscribers because I've seen some massive growth over the last couple of months. But I mean, it took me a year to get to 1,000 subscribers. So this is something that you can definitely do, and you don't need a lot of subscribers or views to make some serious money. In fact, I think I probably still have under 100,000 views on my entire YouTube channel that I use for growing my real estate business. All right, guys, now tip number 7, you have to stay disciplined and consistent with this business. It's really hard to take time off and see your business continue to grow. Oftentimes, it's like I said earlier in the video, you have to get out there and put one step in front of the other each and every day, even when you get beat down, because those steps add up and eventually you're up at the top of the mountain, right? That's the kind of analogy that I like to take. You know, when you're climbing that mountain, you're going to, fall down, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get pushed back down the mountain, but you have to keep taking that step, and they compound on top of each other until finally you're at that mountaintop, and then you keep on climbing from there. So it's just that, you really have to stay consistent with it. You have to show up every single day, because this business is hard and you are going to have those losses, and you have to stay disciplined. This is the other thing. When it comes to consistency of putting that one foot in front of the other each and every day, it takes discipline to know that you're looking at that from a high enough level that you can see the progress that's being made. When you look at it from a day-to-day basis, it might look like you're not making any progress at all. But when you zoom out and you look at how you did over the full month or over the full year, you're going to see a much better perspective on how this business actually operates. The thing that you need to keep in mind here in real estate is you need to do enough work to win the day, so that you can win enough days to win the week, and win enough weeks to win the month, and win enough months to win the year. That's the absolute crucial part of real estate, and that's the thing that you need to know when it comes to getting in this business and making well into the 6-figure mark. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I put a ton of time and effort into this video. I hope you found some value out of it, and I hope I can help you get to that 6-figure mark much faster than I did myself. I was fortunate enough to get into the 6-figure mark in just my second year, but it's been a couple of years additional to that, to where I've been able to get well into that 6-figure mark, where you're really making a great income. This is something I'm super grateful for, and I know that you guys can do the same. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up here on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I hope to see you around here in future videos, and we'll catch you in the next one.